Ever have these idiots that just leave their cell phone ringing out in class? I've put up with this for about, I don't know how many days lately, but today really just takes the cake. Now, I'm not very good in algebra, and because of this, I need to take a elementary algebra course. And with the course comes at least once a week where we have to go into the lab, the computer lab next door to the classroom we're using, for tutoring. Now, the classrooms used for tutoring are very small, squashed in like sardines sort of thing. It could be registered as a fire hazard, I would honestly say so. And today we were in the room and we were going over some things. And this girl's cell phone suddenly goes off. Now, you would think she would immediately grab for it and try to get it to turn off or run outside and answer the phone call, right? No, she just lets it ring for 7 times while the teacher's in the middle of explaining something, and then she decides to pick it up and then turn it off after it's been ringing 7 times. And throughout that time, all of us were staring at her. Well, I don't know exactly how many people were staring at her. Me, I was just trying to hear the teacher over her cell phone ringing. Now, this is just getting ridiculous on the mindset that there are 2 signs. One leading into the lab, one that's inside the lab, and a sign on each of the doors leading to the classrooms stating to please turn off all cell phones or pagers and stuff like that. Turn them off and before you go inside, so that way you don't disturb the class. But yet this girl decides to not even put her cell phone on silent. She put it on vibe and high, most likely. Vibe and high, for those of you who don't know, is a setting on the phone for the ringer to ring at its highest volume and to vibrate at the same time. And this girl had her cell phone on her desk, and it was ringing out loud in a god-awful, high-pitched ring, and it was vibrating on the table. And I wanted to just scream at her, "Turn your cell phone off! Why do you even have it on while you're in class? How are you going to talk to someone if you're supposed to be busy learning what it is the teacher's trying to teach you about?" I mean, it's rude to the class, and it's rude to the professor. And I know it's the professor's job, but still, why do people do this? Why do people bring their cell phones into the classroom, don't even at least bother to turn it on silent or something, and let it ring that long before you decide to take it out of before you decide to pick it up and answer it? And then there are those people that pick it up and then just start having a conversation right in the middle of a class during a class discussion, which is even ruder. Now, with my cell phone, this is what I do. If you're really worried about someone calling you, you could always put it on silent. I never put it on vibrate because I consider it annoying. I don't like something vibrating on my hip, and I don't want something jumping around on my desk. So what I do is I take my cell phone and I turn the ringer back on after I get out of class, and my cell phone will either be off or on, depending on whether or not I'm in class. And when I'm walking from one class to another, it'll be turned on. But once I get to class, I either turn it off or I put it on silent. So that way the call gets registered, I'm aware that someone called me, and that I can get to them after class. I never, ever, 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 ever to infinity keep my cell phone turned on at the highest volume for the ringer when I'm in class. Because I'm too busy paying attention to what my professor is trying to teach us to have a conversation with someone on my cell phone. So, yeah. Please, just keep your cell phones on silent when you are in class. It is very rude when people have to try and listen over your cell phone, vibrating across the table or ringing out loud while they're trying to listen to the professor or the teacher teach a class. So, yeah, just leave your cell phone off or put it on silent when you're in class. Then when you get out, you can turn it back on again. Otherwise, just leave it on silent or off.